state and county dignitaries, council members, and fellow commissioners and residents. As stated, my name is Cecily Nelson and I serve as Vice Chair of the Community Services Commission. My husband and I have been residents of Temecula for 10 years come this October. As someone who hasn't served in the military, it's not lost on me the great honor it is to have the chance to speak to you today. And I stand here before you with a tremendous amount of respect and my deepest appreciation. Thank you for this opportunity. My husband and I have a standing appointment. We refer to it as Tuesday night date night. Typically we go to the movies and we pick Tuesdays because that's when we can own the theater. Though now with school almost being out, we're probably going to have to adjust our schedule. Anyway, last Tuesday, we went on our date to see Breaking In. Good movie, starring Gabrielle Union, check it out. Before the previews, we saw a PSA regarding USAA's Dedicate a Poppy effort. Now, it's possible they've been doing this for a few years now, but this was the first we had both seen of it. And the commercial is quite striking, quite humbling, and frankly, quite stunning, visually, literally, and philosophically. The message points to the fact that since World War I, there have been 645,000 servicemen and women who have given the ultimate sacrifice, made the ultimate commitment for our collective freedom. Commitment. When you Google the meaning of commitment, it comes back the state or quality of being dedicated to a cause or activity, a pledge or undertaking. Now, for those survivors here today and those who fight here for us here today, I don't need to ask you to contemplate your warrior's commitment or how long our nation has been at war. Those who fought in World War II were committed until 1945. Those fighting and currently fighting in Afghanistan have been committed for about 17 years and counting. But for the rest of us, think about that for a moment. What has each of us done in 17 years? What commitment have you made and actually stuck with? When you got too tired? When it got too hard? When you got too weak to carry on? They say people make time for what they want to do. What have you committed your time to lately? And think about how frivolous some of our commitments are to begin with, right? I'm sure some of us, when the next season of American Idol starts, will commit to watching 1 or even 2 nights a week to that show. But seriously, the level of commitment represented in this city square here today is reserved for the elite. While it's a level of dedication I'm uncertain I will ever achieve, we can try to aspire to it. My hat is off today for those who have mastered it. I mentioned we went to the movies last Tuesday, and afterward, as I was grabbing something from the trunk, I was verbally assaulted by 2 male individuals in a pickup truck. It was clear they didn't initially see that my husband was with me and proceeded to yell a racially and gender-charged slur. I was frightened, embarrassed, and scared they might have wished to do me some physical harm. That night, I swore off Tuesday night date night. I swore off ever going to the movies again at that particular establishment, and I simply broke my commitment. In that moment, the commitment was too hard and I was too scared. The idea of keeping that commitment was too much. Can you imagine if the servicemen and women, fathers, daughters, mothers, and children we've convened to honor here today broke their commitment and threw up their hands? Can you imagine where we'd be? The USAA commercial asks us to honor the fallen by action. We all must define for ourselves what that means. And yet, all the while they're fighting for us to even have the privilege of the prerogative, to have the freedom to commit to what we please. It's a lofty question, I know, and yet let me tell you how I will start. Every day, I will make the choice to be committed. Committed first to the Lord, committed to my family, committed to the city of Temecula, to my profession, and committed to my husband, who said, "No, we're not. We're gonna be right back here next Tuesday. We're not gonna change our routine in fear of someone else's shortcomings." Every day, I will choose to honor the fallen with action, even if only by continuing to put one foot in front of the other in a world of notable uncertainty, instability, and chaos. We must choose to keep our commitment, to also be strong for them, be of service to them, and be respectful of them for all they have committed to us. Thanks again for allowing me the chance to speak today. My hat is off for those who have masturbated and cultivated the strength of commitment and dedication, and for those who have given the ultimate sacrifice. Thank you.